Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it away. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it away.
Welcome in. Happy Sunday to everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully you guys are having a great evening, great Sunday, great end of your weekend. But thank you for joining me. My name is Tanya or TitaniumBuilt. You can call me either or. Thanks for being here. And like, I'm going to say that a million times. And welcome back to all the returning Titans that are coming back for another live. I appreciate you guys, which it's mostly you guys that are in here, usually in the beginning of the live. So I'm going to go back up to the top so I can say hi to some of you guys, and then we will get started with what we're going to be talking about this evening. And did you see my new bunny? Look at this. It's got glasses. I was like, that's so cute. A little bunny with glasses. So since I wear glasses sometimes on the show, I was like, I need that. I think that's really cute. So I got that today. Hey, Cyber Warrior, how you doing? First again, I love that. Hey, Ladybug. Hey, Mary Beth. Don't forget to hit the like. You know how I love that. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like, it does help. As soon as you guys like come in the live, if you guys hit the like, that sends out in the algorithm, and creators just love that. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Petunia. Hey, Maxie's mom. My placement in the thumbnail is a little strange. I had to put myself there, Petunia, because if I put myself off to the side, I was taking off Kohberger's like face. Well, not Kohberger's, but Papa Rodger's face. That's why I put myself in the middle. I usually don't put myself in the middle like that. I usually don't put myself on thumbnails at all. I just started doing that. That's a new thing. Thank you for gifting membership, Mary Beth. And I saw that somebody gifted some more. I think it might be Margot. Hey, Stephanie, welcome in. Hey, Chris. I think that's her little thing there. Who's hitting you? Oh, just hit that like button. That's all. Nobody better be hitting anybody, or I'm going to be hitting some people. Hey, Sandy, Colorado. Hey, Wolf. Not a whole lot going on, but we're going to talk about some stuff. Hey, Tony. It's been a long day today, hasn't it? I feel like it's been a long day today, too. Hey, Chantel. Welcome in. And hey, Tony. It's good to see ya. I don't know if I said hey to you. Hey, Willows. Okay, I'm going to try to get to the bottom without missing people. Hey, Jenny. Hey, Southernish. I'm glad that you're here. Hey, Sailor Outlaw George is here too. We got Wicked. Well, welcome on in, everybody. I thought that was Margot that gifted out 5 memberships. Thank you. And whoever got a gifted membership from Margot or from Mary Beth already, hey, welcome to the fam. Welcome on in. I didn't get to see the names. For some reason, it's weird. For YouTube creators, we can't see on StreamYard who gets gifted the membership. I have to look on my iPad. Isn't that weird? It's so weird. I love the dancing emojis. Mr. Rosebud, is he here? There's Mr. Rosebud. Hey, Crystal. And hey, Willows. I don't know if I said hey to you when I highlighted your name. Oh, there's the dogs. Hey, Shells. They might want in. Machachi? Machachi. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but if I'm not, I'm going to figure it out again. I'll figure it out every time if I have to. Hey, Kaylee. Isn't that bunny cute? Thought it was cute. I'm going to let the dogs in here in a minute because I can hear them and they're just going to be at the door, Hey, Elizabeth, welcome in. Jesse's girl, welcome in. And if I missed you guys, I'm sorry. Villanova Law. It's the eyeballs. It's not you guys. It's me. Hey, Pretty Hate Machine. Sandy, Colorado. That's a cute name. Hey, Tish. Welcome in. Okay, I think I got everybody. Okay, I'm going to open this door and let them in for it's going to take me 2 seconds. And then that way we're all good. Okay, hold on. Nope. Oh. We're doing that tonight. All right. Okay. They're both on the floor tonight. We're cool. Okay. We're cool with laying by each other. Okay. Sometimes, these two are sisters. I mean, literally, they're not literally, they look nothing alike, but they're sisters. I've never seen 2 dogs act like they do. If one is sitting in one spot, the other one wants to be sitting there. And then the Weimaraner will straight sit on the brown dog. She don't care. If she's in a spot she wants to sit in, it's so funny. So they're down here on the floor. They're just crazy. And then Mia likes to growl at the cat. She goes nuts over the cat. It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. Okay. So tonight we're going to be recapping kind of what we did last night on the stream. This is kind of like part 2, but I have some other stuff planned for you guys too. So tonight we're on part 2, going over whether or not we feel that Bryan Kohberger was Papa Rodger and the account Inside Looking. So there's 2 accounts that he was a part of. There's actually a few accounts he was a part of because he had that Tappa Talk account where he said about the visual snow and he felt like a piece of meat, something like that. I don't know the exact quote, but you know what I'm talking about, the Tappa Talk account. And then he had, we're thinking maybe he could have been Papa Rodgers. Some of you guys were saying though last night that Papa Rodgers had posted after the arrest. I haven't seen any post after the arrest, but if you guys see them, let me know and I'll pull them up. But they said that both of these accounts stopped posting right after Bryan Kohberger was arrested, which to me, that's a little odd. That is a little odd. So we're going to go over, I meant to do a poll in the last live. So let me do the poll now. The poll was, and the poll is, do you think Bryan Kohberger was Papa Rodgers? And then I'll put an I don't know option on there too. In case people just don't know, because that's me. I don't know. I just don't know. Okay. I was just making sure that the poll went up. So I'll do a poll for this. And then at the end of the live, towards the end of the live, we'll do another poll. We'll see if you guys think he's inside looking. But before we do that, I was going to show you guys this article that goes over the Papa Rodger's account. So let me put myself down here. That way you guys can see it a little better. But Inside Looking started posting around December 24th. So before we go back to reading the post that we were reading last night, I just want to go over this article with you guys. It talks about both accounts. That way, if you didn't catch last night's live, you can kind of get caught up with it this live, with the Papa Rodger part. Because we did go over the whole, all the postings from the Papa Rodgers. And that was on a Facebook group that he was doing that on. So the Inside Looking is going to be on a Reddit. It's through different Reddit threads. Like he was posting all over Reddit. Like this person, whoever it was, they were posting things that were like true about what was going on, but it wasn't released yet. So some of the things that they were saying, it's like, how did you know that? Other things, not so much, so he could have, if it is him, he could have been like playing with us a little bit. I don't know. You guys are going to be the decision makers here tonight. I hope these aren't dirty because I don't feel like cleaning them. Speculation, so we'll read over this, is mounting that Bryan Kohberger, the man suspected of murdering 4 University of Idaho students in the early hours of November 13th, may have been behind a pair of accounts that discussed the case in detail on Facebook and Reddit. Kohberger, 28, was arrested on December 30th at his parents' house in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, following the deaths of Kaylee Gonzalez, 21, Madison Mogan, 21, Xana Kernodle, 20, and Ethan Chapin, 20, who were fatally stabbed in their beds in an off-campus residence in Moscow, Idaho. Kohberger has been charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 felony burglary charge. Jason Labar, Kohberger's Pennsylvania public defender, said his client denies the allegations and is eager to be exonerated of these charges. Labar added that Kohberger's family thinks the allegations are completely out of character and don't believe it to be Bryan. Well, what parent's going to say that sounds like our son? I mean, really? I'm sure there are some parents out there, but The case attracted considerable attention from amateur detectives online, intensified by the gap between the killings and police making an arrest. Considerable? What do you, way more than considerable, I would say. Everybody was talking about this case. 2 of those who commented on the case. So 2 of those who commented on the case, a Facebook user going by the name Papa Rodger, and I didn't know if that was 2 P's or 1 P. I need to fix my description or my title, and Reddit poster Inside Looking, appear to have had a detailed knowledge of the case and made claims that later turned out to be true. This led to speculation that one or both accounts could have been operated by the suspected killer. Papa Rodger was a member of the University of Idaho Murders Case Discussion Facebook group until the account was removed after posting some really creepy stuff, according to group administrator Kristen Cameron. On November 30th, Papa Rodger posted, "Of the evidence released, the murder weapon has been consistent as a large fixed blade knife. This leads me to believe they found the sheath. This evidence was released prior to autopsies. While police did say they were searching for a bladed murder weapon, it wasn't revealed that officers had found a knife's sheath at the murder scene until the probable cause affidavit was released on Thursday." So this came out a couple years ago. So Papa Rodger's post attracted the suspicions of Jennifer Koffendorfer. Yeah, she's in here. A former FBI agent, take it with a grain of salt, who on Friday shared it on Twitter. She tweeted, "I have followed hashtag Papa Rodger comments with intrigue. This comment was of particular interest after the release of the PCA. The comments just seemed to hit home." And then she has this attached, and it says, "Of the evidence released, the murder weapon has been consistent as a large fixed blade knife. This leads me to believe they have found the sheath. This evidence was released prior to autopsies." In response to another Twitter user who asked whether the killer would have left a digital trail that that incriminating. Coffendorfer wrote he drove his own car, carried his phone, and didn't clip in his sheath tight enough, so I do believe he could leave a digital trail. He was a hot mess. Intelligence with no common sense equals a criminal bound to be caught. Okay, so I do agree with her with the last statement. Intelligence with no common sense, yeah, equals a criminal bound to be caught. I do agree with that, full-heartedly. I think that Bryan Kohberger, if he did do this, but I just think in general that I forgot what to say. That he is, I think he's incredibly, like, I think he's smart, like book smart, but I don't think that he has a lot of common sense, smarts about him at all. But whose car would he drive? Really? I mean, like, okay, if you borrow a car from a friend, they're going to say, hey, you borrowed my car the night of those murders, right? Even if it comes back clean, like the car came back clean. If he rents a car, police are going to figure that out. I'm sure that that was probably maybe one of the first things they did was like pull and see if anybody had rented cars in the area and where they were at, that's like an easy way to get caught. That's a paper trail. So I don't know. But at one point, Pappa Rodgers got into an argument about the murders with another Facebook user who asked, why do you communicate like a serial killer? Explaining the decision to later remove Pappa Rodgers from the Facebook page, Cameron said, Pappa Rodgers, this has one P here, so I don't know, was never a mod or admin in this group. He was on here and argued incessantly with people and said some really creepy stuff and posted similar questions to Bryan's crime questions. She added, we removed Pappa Rodgers at 7:10 the evening before Bryan's arrest. He created a group page and had 6 people in it. No one has heard from Pappa Rodgers since the arrest. Bryan crime questions appears to be a reference to questions posted on Reddit several months ago by a user called Bryan Kohberger prior to the Moscow murders, who asked criminals for details about what they felt while committing crimes. The account has since been suspended. The Kohberger, who was arrested, was a PhD student studying criminal justice and criminology at Washington State University, though authorities haven't confirmed if he was behind the Reddit post. I wonder if we'll find out during, oh, thank you so much. You're so sweet. Thank you. Let's start a super chat train. Let's get it. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate that so much. I do. Thank you so much. I wonder if this was him. I mean, just like poking the bear a little, seeing what information he could get. I mean, I wouldn't say it would be like, out of the realm of possibilities, right? Let's see. So where were we at? And he did have those crime questions. So it says, the Kohberger who was arrested was a PhD student studying criminal justice and criminology at Washington State University, though authorities haven't confirmed if he was behind the Reddit post. And I wonder if we'll find out at trial. After the Moscow murders, the case was discussed in depth by a user called Inside Looking, who posted on the Moscow murders Reddit group. And they actually posted on a lot more than just the Moscow murders group. We found out like they were on the Idaho 4 group. They were on a bunch of groups. So, and we'll go through those tonight. The user correctly identified the importance of a white Hyundai Elantra seen near the crime scene and that shoe prints at the scene that likely belonged to the suspect before the information was confirmed by police. In one post, Inside Looking posted speculation killer parked behind the house, approached property through tree line, entered sliding door and left it open, committed murders and exited sliding door. One knife according to coroner's statement. Time of murder approximately 3:20 a.m. to 3:40 a.m. according to car fleeing scene and on camera on Highway 8 approximately 3:45 a.m. Vehicle left skid marks upon exit. Well, we know that the timing is wrong there, so that's wrong. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you, Sandy, Colorado. Thank you, Caitlin. Oh, thank you guys. You guys are sweet. That's so nice. Hey, Princess Elsa. You guys are so, so sweet. Thank you. So it says, in response to one of the Inside Looking's post, another Reddit user posted, "Dude is solving his own crime. ... Psycho." Inside Looking's Reddit profile picture initially showed a masked man dressed in black holding a flashlight. Authorities haven't formally made any links between the Pappa, Rodgers, and Inside Looking social media accounts to Kohberger. Newsweek has contacted the Moscow Police Department for comment. Meanwhile, the parents of Kayla Gonzalez said on Thursday that Kohberger should face the death penalty if he's convicted of the killings during a News Nation interview. When asked about capital punishment, Kaylee's mother, Christy, responded, "We're glad that we live in Idaho, one of 27 states where the death penalty stands." And yeah, they believe that. I mean, and they still are, they still have that belief. And, shoot. You can play music as long as it's good music. And you have a guitar, so yeah, I'm sure you can play. I'm sure you can play, Chris. Okay, let me move my cup here a little bit so I can see what I'm reading. These were on Reddit, so I have to blow them up a lot because if not, we ain't gonna be able to read it. But actually, let me put it back a little bit. Oh, so we're on page 7 of this, but you haven't missed anything much if you are just now joining and you didn't see the live last night. But basically, if you don't know how Reddit works, and I'm not very good at it, so don't take it from me. I'm going to go up to page 1. We're on page 7. So, okay. So you'll have the chat over here, over here. These are all the different Reddit subreddits that he was in. So Reddit has subreddits that are different chats that you can go into. And you can basically, they're different, people put up different posts and you can comment under them. If that makes sense. So these were all of the posts that he was commenting under during this time. So December 24th on through till Bryan Kohberger was arrested. And so we've got, let's see if we can do that. So we've got I think 33 pages. Let me go a little faster. Minus the 7. I guess I could have put 7 in the top of the search bar, right? Sorry about that. Probably make y'all dizzy. Hey, Boone. I won't be on the other page reading if I don't see y'all. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you don't mind, just take 1 second, hit the like button. That really does help the channel. It's a free way to support, and it really helps your girl out. And I'll be reading a lot to you guys. So if you'd like to become a member, I'm going to put the link in the chat. If you're on an iPhone, unfortunately, you have to go through Safari and go to YouTube that way. It's just weird like that. Hey, Karma. I found out today. Hey, Lisa. It's because YouTube is Google and Apple is Apple. And so that's why there's a major malfunction there. So I've been reading up on it. I'm trying to figure it out. So we're on page 7, and you'll see up here in the blue, it says Inside Looking, and you'll see where they commented, and then you'll see what Reddit thread they commented in. It'll be in the bold letters. So if you want to read with me, you'll know what you're reading. So Inside Looking commented on toxicology findings aren't relevant to this case, says coroner. And he put speculation because they were attacked with a knife when they were sleeping. Oh, thank you, Ladybug. That's so sweet of you. Best creator, best channel, and chat on YouTube. I don't know about creator, but I do think channel and chat. Because y'all make the channel the best. Yeah, Brian, you're not too much. You're not too bad. You're not too bad. You're not too far. We're not too far in. So you're good to go. So then it goes down to, I'm just going to kind of read through them. So Inside Looking commented on general discussion thread December 15th. So this is before we got the PCA, before Brian's arrest, before any of that stuff. So just keep that in your mind, right? 2022. And then this is in the mega thread, Moscow murders. And it says, I took a week off. Now I'm back. Also got slapped with a temporary ban from Idaho murders. Her ears are bothering her, I guess. Mia, don't scratch the carpet like that. So then she's going to go up on the chair probably. Inside Looking commented on Ian X's timeline in the Moscow murders. So he got a temporary ban from the Idaho murders subreddit. So that's probably why he's not posting in that subreddit as of right now. But he does post in like 3 or 4 of them. And it says, yeah, frat and home, that's it. So he's commenting, you know, that, yeah, they just went to the fraternity and home, that's it. Under the Ethan and Xana timeline. And at that point, we didn't know. We didn't know. So then they write, Inside Looking comment on general discussion thread in the Moscow murders. And they put speculation, tires marks from the killer's car when they fled the scene from behind the house. And now you can see them here, but you couldn't see them when he had the red like mark on there. So you could see the tire prints. I mean, they're taking pictures of them right there. So speculation, tire marks from the killer's car when they fled the scene from behind the house. Or it could have been when he was doing those turns. So then expanded, he Inside Looking just posts, expanded crime scene behind house where footprints came from. Speculation, this is where the killer parked. And that's just the area right behind the house. And then Inside Looking did this again. Right here, you can see the outside handle removed for DNA evidence. Door was left open, so killer didn't touch inside handle. Okay, so they're saying the door was left open. Well, and I really think that I remember hearing someone say the slider door was left open. I know the front door was left open, but I'm thinking the slider was left open as well. But don't quote me on that. I'll have to find out where I heard that from. And it was like in the beginning of this, so it might take me some time. I think it looks like a footprint, like a boot print there. Speculation, killer shoe print from behind the house. That does look like a boot print. They approached the property from the parking lot in the back. So, I mean, that does look like a boot print right there. Maybe. It could be. Speculation, did not enter window. Plant on center of sill not moved. Yeah, they didn't enter through the window. I don't know why they took those pictures though, back like of the window. I'm curious. Because they had like 5 or 6 people back there at one point looking at them. So this is in the Idaho. He's posting an Idaho 4 subreddit now. The same picture. So he posted it on his and then he posted it in the Idaho 4. Sorry. Didn't mean to go back. Then he posted these into his Inside Looking, posted, you know, this picture. And it says, you can see the plant. Well, I can't see nothing from here, but okay. Inside Looking commented on Xana and Ethan, or Ethan and Xana's timeline again in the Moscow murders. And it says they were at Sigma Chi. And then it says source Ellie statements. So I guess Ellie had come out at that point and said where they were. Then this is on December 15th, 2022. Inside Looking commented on general discussion thread. Now, December 15th. Was that the day he got pulled over? Like driving back? For some reason, I think it is. But if it is, maybe his dad took over the wheel. Maybe, you know, he was riding and like maybe his dad, like him and his dad were taking turns driving. I would assume that they took turns driving. I wouldn't think that he would have Bryan drive the whole entire way back, right? I mean, that would be kind of crappy. That'd be real crappy. Hey, AZ. Welcome in, everybody that's coming in that I haven't seen. Hey, CJK. Okay, I went back up to kind of look. So, okay. Now this one is December 15th in the Moscow murders. It's a speculation. Killer parked behind the house, approached property through tree line, entered sliding door and left it open, committed murders and exited sliding door. One knife, according to coroner's statement. Time of murder approximately 3:20 a.m. to 3:40 a.m. according to car fleeing scene and on camera on Highway 8. That's not even He didn't go on a Highway 8. Approximately 3:45. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know where Highway 8 is. Do you guys know? I'm about to go over to King Road. Directions to Highway 8. Like, is that what it was? Yeah. There is no, like, let's just see. Yeah, okay, there we go. Go back. I'm trying to see where it's like. It's by Steiner Avenue. Yeah, I don't know. He didn't take that way though. That's weird. I was just wanting to see where it was at. It says that he left approximately 3:45 a.m., which we know that timing isn't true because Xana's food didn't come till after 4 o'clock or 4 o'clock. Vehicle left skid marks upon exit. Please see photos below for more information. See any photos? So okay. Inside looking commented on Idaho murders. White car spotted on footage obtained by police one day after killings, and it's a Fox news article in the Moscow murder subreddit. And he says, speculation. I've said from the beginning, the car pulled up to the house. And then inside looking commented on killing order and says, I'm not giving out any personal information. Okay. And then the same inside looking commented in theories thread for the Moscow murders. Is it true about coroner and medical examiner? Do you have a link for KS dad? Kaylee's dad, I guess, stating this. Maybe I missed it. I thought it was only Xana that was confirmed to have defensive wounds. And then he commented again on the white car is the killer. Here is why. And it says, I couldn't help the urge to say that. Yeah, the downstairs bathroom was used for taking dumps. That's what he put. Okay. Good to know. Inside looking put, the stools were added after Leo arrived. And I think he's talking about the stools at the back door. Inside looking, and that was one of my questions. I wondered when they put those stools there, but I found a picture the other night of the table in front of the window. So now I'm real confused on what was exactly in front of that window the night of the homicides. It's just really weird. Like, I found this picture. Let me see. This is like the table. These are the stools. This is after they did something with, the door. I don't know. Did they move the table in front of that? I don't remember them doing that, and these were newer pictures because they were right after the crime because this was Fox News and they were out there really quick. So now I'm like, okay, how was that house set up in the back? Like, what was there? Was there anything in the door? Was there any, was it just open? Like nothing in front of the door? And it was, I don't know. Was it just left open? Maybe not locked. I don't know. But I'm still thinking maybe the front door. Inside looking commented on December 15th, 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra update with Captain Rodger Lanier. And it says he's making a list. And then he commented, the inside looking commented on the theories thread. It was only X that had defensive wounds from what was released, unless you can provide me with a source that said both of them. Well, at least he wants a source. And then it says, yes, I know this. I'm confused. Okay, so they commented on the white car is the killer. Here's why. And inside looking put, yes, I know this. I am confused as to why you think they went through the window on the dining area. These are items these are items there that wouldn't be like that if someone went through. Okay, now I'm going to school you guys in something real quick. This table wasn't like that before. There was absolutely nothing on that table other than a thing of red Solo cups. The cops took the stuff that was from the sink, like even Xana's DoorDash and the cup, that really gross, like coffee, looked like Starbucks cup that was by the DoorDash or whatever. They put all that on the table because they think they were trying to get in the drain, or they wanted to just process that area. But this table was completely empty. So I will say that it was completely empty at one point. I have the picture of it somewhere. I could probably pull it up. Probably wouldn't take me too long to find them, but if you guys need me to, let me know. Hey, Aries. I hope you're having a better day today. Yeah, the dumps. They only do the dumps on the bottom floor. Wonder which the bottom floor. Is that like the first floor? Or like the second floor? Because the first floor had a laundry, like had your laundry in there. I'd be like, ain't nobody taking no dumps in this place. This is where my laundry is going to be at. Like, I don't know. But yeah, that's what he said. Or that's what she or he said, whoever it is behind the computer. So inside looking put, okay, because that's not where the plant is tipped over. There are 2 different windows. There are different items in front of the dining window that appear untouched. And then they commented in, mother of slain Idaho student speaks out in emotional interview. And it says, they're upset. Ellie isn't sharing enough with them, but also upset coroner shared too much with them. They're upset. They were upset because the coroner told their 17-year-old daughter what happened to their 21-year-old daughter. The freaking coroner called and said, well, I was calling to tell you what happened. And she's like, well, you can tell me. And the coroner never asked, well, who's this? Who am I speaking with? She just told her everything. 17 years old. I think she was younger than that, actually. But I think she was 17. But I mean, just stuff you don't want to hear, I mean, when we heard it, it was graphic enough. Hearing that Kaylee was hunched over in the corner because she was scooting away from the killer, just trying to scoot away from him and try to escape. And there was no escape, just a corner. I mean, that's a lot to take in. So then Inside Looking commented on, let's talk about the knife. So I'm going to go through these kind of like a little bit quicker, but it says, prove to me it's not the shoe print. He looked Inside Looking commented on, the white car is the killer. Which windows are you saying then? The sink window or dining area? Outside slider handle was taken for evidence. Window screen was next to the bedroom window, not kitchen window. Window entry was also appeared undisturbed. They didn't go through that window with the screen down. The screen was down. You could see it in a video from August when the cops were there. It says the coroner said it, and then he comments in, let's talk about the knife. They don't do that. And then it says, I disagree. The shoe print is the killer's track. Well, we'll see about that, I guess, huh? I don't think they're going to find the boots to go with it, but they might. Because some people might not throw away the shoes they used. But I mean, I don't know. The Wagners did, didn't they? Did the killer want to be known? No, the killer did it in a discreet fashion. That's what he said. There's absolutely nothing discreet about what happened to these kids. In my opinion, I don't think so. Now that we're starting to see all the evidence coming out. It says, I made my statement and provided a source. I do not distribute my personal information. I don't know who was asking for that. And then, this isn't like, he's just going in all these discussion groups. Killing order discussion group. I will fix that right now. Sorry about your nuts. I'm not giving out personal information. Don't know what he's saying there. Commented on Ethan Chapin's fraternity gives statement 12/14/22. Exactly what I've been saying. And then in the other group, let's talk about the knife. He put, okay, if you truly believe that, tip me in. And then again, he put, I'm not the Moscow murderer. I've already been tipped in weeks ago. No connection. I've already been tipped in. What is that? That doesn't even make sense. No one. That's not even cop lingo. What are you talking about? Tipped in. It says, and then in the Hyundai Elantra, mega thread on 12/14/22. So, 2 weeks before Kohberger's even arrested. I keep my speculations short. The pictures of neighbors' home indicate it would make sense for their camera to be pointed at their driveway with 4+ cars than the street. Dwellers want to protect their property. And then, do you think the killer been interviewed by police or media yet? And he put, I was joking. And then let's talk about the knife. I'm speculating. I don't have any inside information. There's photos online of marked shoe prints outside the home. And then I'm not giving out any personal info. I don't know why they keep saying that, but that was on 12/14. And then he says on the theories thread 3.0, no one single knife. In the thread, let's talk about the knife. So they just mark random things. In the general discussion thread, he put, thank you. I could see if it was a basement that was underground, but it's not. It's obviously a 3-story, and one road in means you have to pass the front. Criminals may act irrational, but they're not that stupid. In the killing order subgroup, he put possible, but I doubt it. In the let's talk about it knife subreddit, killers don't use shoe covers. There's a marked shoe print outside the house. In the killing order, he put, that's right. Thank you. First off, I'm not the killer. I have been tipped in already, so please don't waste Ellie's time. Also, how does it make me crazy for referencing the coroner's statement and not giving out my personal information? I'm an anonymous person. That's all you need to know. The coroner insinuated this theory. I back up her statement. And then in the pictures/videos, he put, I've already been tipped in weeks ago. I'm not the killer. So he has to go to all these different groups and tell them that, because they're all saying like, hey, are you the guy? Anyways, I say this because footage of the killer or description would be released if Ellie had it. It's what they did recently for the car. Okay. And then on the killing order, he put, the coroner insinuated this statement. I back up her theory. In the white car is the killer. Here is why. He entered sliding door. In the killing order, one murder weapon, same weapon was used. One knife killed all 4, one knife. In the theories thread, agreed. He agreed with someone. I said, pull up to the house. In the previous statement, I didn't specify at the time if it was the front or back, but it seems pretty clear which direction Ellie pointed to. 4 homicides is risky. Car near house equals quick getaway. You pull up behind the house, go through the trees, and enter from the back. Simple. No tracks or no tracks. I speculate the killer drove up to the house. That's not angled towards the road. It angled towards their driveway. And then in the theories thread, speculation, the car pulls up to the residence. Killers entered and exited sliding door. The killings took place approximately 3:20 to 3:40. One killer, one fixed blade, no injuries. Look, it's Kohberger outside watching the clouds, looking at the stars. Thank you for becoming a member, Tammy. Tammy's Clips. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Ladybug, for putting that in the chat. I was reading it. So under the white car / Hyundai Elantra mega thread, he put, I have to say it's speculation. Otherwise, mods will delete. Oh, yeah. Inside looking comment on the gas station versus body cam video or vehicle. Okay. Gas station picture, front end is curved, Elantra. Ellie pic, front end is squared, not the same vehicle. Okay. And that's what everyone wants to know. No connection. And then the same thread, the white car. Yes, it didn't give a great view of it, but enough to figure out the vehicle. Like I've said before, the car pulled up to the house. And in the gas station versus body cam vehicle, that's not Ellie near the gas station. Well, no, they took a picture of a picture. That picture that we got from the gas station. So then inside looking put thrilled or under describe the current mindset of the killer. And he put thrilled initially after murders, now some anxiety and obsessed with case information. Except it was a college party house and DNA is very sensitive. And then he put in what do you think about the importance of the Elantra? And he put all of them. And then, do you think the killer been interviewed by police or media yet? And he put, I think it's both yes and no. So, okay, either yes to media or yes to no, or no to media, yes to police. I don't know what he was thinking there, but I don't think that Bryan was ever out there on the YouTube streets. Like, people have said that he called in their call-in show and stuff, and I just don't believe that at all. Not even a little bit. I don't think that I don't know. I don't even know if Bryan would even go and do something like this to where they could get his IP address. Do you know what I mean? And trace it back to him. But he's done some dumb things. And I mean, if he's the killer, right? He's done some dumb things. Buying the K-bar on Amazon, that's probably not smart. You probably should have went to a knife show. You could have even went to the little shop that I went to in California. That little store probably didn't even give you a receipt. They probably didn't even know. Could have paid with cash. Could have been good to go. Thank you, Tammy's Clips. Thank you so much for the $9.99. That's really nice. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's very sweet of you. So then he puts in the white car in gas station footage is not an Elantra. Yeah, it is. Person in vehicle is wearing a hoodie with the hood up. You cannot possibly see in that car. Now we're just getting silly. He put surveillance videos, why not requested sooner? And he put detectives can be lousy. Okay. I don't know who that is pointing, but it's like one of those gifts things. So then he put, he just posted, killer drove to the residence, entered sliding door at approximately 3:20 a.m., stabbed victims in their beds, left through sliding door at approximately 3:35 a.m. and headed east on Highway 8. Well, no, we know all that's not true. Well, maybe the sliding door, but other than that, nothing's true. And then he put a meteor hitting. This is 12:13 in the discussion group, daily discussion. So December 13th, a meteor hitting and destroying the earth is possible, but it doesn't happen. Use common sense. If a huge fight happened at the fraternity that resulted in the murders, people are not going to be silent about that. And then inside looking, put in the general discussion thread, December 13th. I think that this is what he was thinking, that the way he came in and out. No, that's not the way it happened. They weren't even in that area. Or no, they were. That's okay. I'm looking at it from upside down. I'm like, okay. So yeah, it's still not right though. I'm looking at it okay. And he says, so you're saying they never once saw the front or side of the home. Instead, they randomly attacked a home from the backside. And then inside looking, put, that's what the 4chan post alleged. Oh yeah, weren't there 4chan posts too? Man, was he all over the place or what? Or was there somebody that was just all over the place? And then they got scared and they were like, we need to back off. I don't know, before someone finds out it's us. But I mean, you could just be like, hey, I just got those things right. Because I said, you know what I mean? There's only a few things that I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. But so far he hasn't gotten everything, or she hasn't gotten a lot right. Not everything anyway. But they could be a reason for that too. If this was, the killer that was writing this, they could have been doing that to make people not think it was them, keep them off of them. I don't know. But it says, how do not notice it's 3 levels. And I don't know who's writing that too, but that was in the general discussion thread, December 13th. And then same date, the fraternity is not covering up a quadruple homicide. That was a 4chan post. It was false. And then in the 12/12/22 daily discussion, he put in, do you want short or long answer? And then the general discussion group for the December 13th, the next day, well, they did stop. That's a fact. Yes, the killer knew. And then in the subreddit, based on what you know now, do you think there will be an arrest before Christmas and why? And he put, that's because TikTokers and Redditors are sending in bogus tips. Not frat guys. They have, and that was just it, period. Okay. No arrest before Christmas. This case goes cold, in my opinion. Got that wrong, too. Investigation update 12/12/22. Too many people to remain silent. 4chan is not a reliable source. It's fake. Well, we all know that, 4chan's fake. 4chan rumor that Sigma Chi frat brothers are involved. And he puts, this is all fake. And then investigation update 12/12. And he puts, oh, you again? And then link, no. And then what is the strangest thing about the case to you? He put, probably didn't look like it had good lighting down there. It did. It did have good lighting. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the back of the house? Because it did have good lighting. I hope that's not. I mean, I mean, it had all the string of lights coming down and then around the corner. Elise said the dog is not a part of the investigation. Well, no, they did it. I don't remember them ever saying that. I remember them saying that there was no blood on the dog, but they definitely took hair from the dog, and they're definitely going to match that up to the dog pet hair found at Bryan Kohberger's apartment. And it might not match up, but it might. Now, wouldn't that be something else? I probably would pass out. I probably would fall up out of my chair. Hey, Petunia Pickle Boots. That's a cute name. Hey, Kathy. Thank you. Thank you guys for helping me out. So then under geography of the surrounding areas, it says he's inside looking. He said, yeah, it would have taken someone unfamiliar with the area 8 hours to get out of that labyrinth. And then they put it, the city of Moscow. The city of Moscow had put this out. I can't remember when they put it out, but he says they sectioned off a part of town, collected information, found an outliner. Dog is irrelevant, he says. Look into the history. And then under fingers crossed for the best news possible, tomorrow's update, same information as yesterday. And then in the dumb luck subreddit, he put half of all murders go unsolved. That's not correct. I wonder what the percentage is. Let's see here. It's actually more than that. 63%. And in 2022. What about now though? Now they're saying 40% in 2021. Okay. However, this rate has declined from previous decades where it was closer to 70%. So closer to 70. Wow. That's still a lot. That's a lot. And it says, yet serial killers have had clueless partners. When it says, if a person hasn't come forward or made people around them suspicious by now, is it safe to say this person is a psychopath and could kill again? And he put, yet serial killers have had clueless partners. And then under the let's talk about the murders subreddit, he put, rush of adrenaline, very excited. Everyone is capable of murder. Even convicted of murder is a separate thing. And then in the general discussion thread, he put, if they did, they would. People have been shot in homes and roommates didn't wake up. And then DNA is pretty sensitive. Under Moscow cameras, there's a lot. Apparently not enough to catch a killer, he said. Well, apparently you're wrong because they did. Inside looking put, under they might be clearing people so fast for a reason. He put, I doubt it. They probably don't have the DNA, no person of interest. And he put, I disagree with very few people could do this. A lot of people could do this. You just haven't seen the dark side of humans. No, there's not that many humans that are this dark. This is right here. This is why we're talking about it. and not 4 other people that are college students, that got knifed to death. Like, this doesn't happen often. That's why we're talking about it. You know what I mean? That's why we want to know everything about it. So then he put, it was a maybe hit, and the victims were sleeping. And then it says, for the people in the area not wanting to feel safer at night, he says, or just get a gun. Under the discussion group, let's discuss Ellie asking for more information regarding the white vehicle. Sorry. And he put, they haven't tracked it down yet. Bolo was issued late. Also, no license plate number. Maybe they don't know. Wish I knew exactly when this one was posted. Or this is all posted before he was arrested. So how would he know about the license plate? Okay, that's a little weird. And then Kaylee's dad slip up, it says, did they get the guy? They are all cleared. Perpetrator didn't incur an injury. And as far as we know, I mean, we saw Bryan's hands like a month later. They didn't look like they had any big gashes on them, of like a slippage of a knife. But I'm sure it would happen. Maybe he wore like Kevlar type of gloves or whatever they are. Those ones that you can wear if you're like cutting up like vegetables and fruit. Like, you write it on you put it on one hand, the hand that you're not like the hand that's closest to the knife, the one that you're not, using to cut. He could have got those. I mean, so I don't know if that picture is supposed to be of. Oh, what's this again? Okay. So then where was Ethan found? It says in bed. And then opinions of users, he says, good, fine, thank you. Everyone was asleep. It's better to leave it open to make it easier for escape. And then he put bingo. The December 7th daily discussion thread, he put outside handle taken off for DNA, inside handle not. Perp open door and never shut it. And then he put this in this group here is just the same thing. And then he put, would this mean entry was slider? Perp didn't close it when he entered. So he just took off with it still open. No marks on inside handle then. Why are outside handles different? Well, your outside handles are usually different than your inside handles of your door. Usually the outside handles are like inverted into the door, right? Mine are. I'm trying to think if that's on the outside or yeah, that's the outside. Yeah. So they're like inside, you know what I mean? Like in this like little thing, you slide it. But yeah, they're a lot of, I think a lot of them are different, right? A lot of doors that you would set up, like, and most of them doors, you can just kick them right in. You know what I mean? Like you could push them in almost if they're locked. Like if they're locked, those doors are not very good. So then he's inside looking, put this picture up. This is the one where they had like the machine and stuff. And it says, I don't have timestamps, but here's the full picture. And then here is see like how that handle is just like it's like one of those metal handles. So I don't know if they necessarily, I mean, maybe they did. Maybe they thought he did. I mean, definitely they fingerprinted it. You can see all the black stuff. That's the sliding door. Look real close. Okay, we're looking. Definitely wasn't murdering when they were just cut off the lights. The murders happened after this. And then under anyone else still think it's the ex. No, laugh out loud. The perp is not on the list. LOL. So why have a cleared list? So why have a list then? That's not how it works. It's the cleared list. How do you know how things work? And then he commented on the group, has anyone considered that maybe, just maybe, that Ellie are publicly clearing those individuals out because they suspect one of them, but want to make them feel like they're off the hook so they can catch them off guard as they are building the case against the person? Absolutely not. And he puts 100%. And I said, absolutely not. No suspect at this time. And then under the post made on 11/21, okay, I'm done with you. Prove it. And then he has this like laughing one. Okay. Nothing happened at Sigma Chi. I never insisted something happened there. I was stating on the timeline. Ethan and Xana were at Sigma Chi. That's it. I never said something went down there. Yeah, what about that? And then they put wrong. So we're not getting the other side. So that kind of sucks. Too many witnesses if something went down at Sigma Chi. And then he put under the video of TikTok about Jack Showalter, I guess, and his family connections. And then he put not JS. And then under the general discussion thread for December 6th, he put second. And then he posted some pictures. Does that look like a bedroom to you? From the drone footage from day one investigation. And then he commented on how to speculate correctly. It's Reddit, a bunch of anonymous people on the internet. Everything is speculation. And then he put yes for the window next to it. Is it odd that the girls only called the E and BF, or wait, EX and BF, what? But didn't send any text? Agreed. Ex-boyfriend not involved. Agreed. JS is innocent. And then he puts this picture here. And I guess he's pointing at the trash, I'm assuming. And then he says, people who understand knives, please explain. And it says, I am who? I don't know. I am correct. They don't have the weapon, he said. People who understand knives, please explain. They said they don't have the weapon. And then he puts, he has ladders. He could have gotten into the third floor from outside. And then he puts, because design prevents it. And then how fast can someone get shanked in prison? I'm sure there are videos out there. Like watch, he says, how fast. We're good on that. TikTok theory, he put Ellie said nobody is completely cleared. Where does it say that? He's innocent though. Someone put, who's innocent at this point? And then inside looking put under suspect's wounds, a knife doesn't jam and the victims were asleep. It's designed for it. It's and then under K's parents sign waivers for PD to investigate something male related. It's not standard practice by LE, must be important. And then it says under the suspect's wounds, prove to me they did get an injury. And then under the best publicly available timeline, no connection. So they tell the public someone is innocent knowing they just killed 4 people and let the person roam around in society. That makes 0 sense. And then now he's putting, going to preferences with Nancy Grace is a grifter, so take this with a grain of salt. It says link to video and comments. Window was entry, sliding door exit. So now he's changing his mind. Now he's saying the window was an entry instead of the sliding door. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You just changed your mind, buddy. I don't like that. Thank you, Southernish. Gifting out 5 memberships. Welcome in, everybody. Come on in. Okay. Don't be saying Nancy Grace is a grifter neither. You know, I think she's earned her money. I think she works hard. I think she works hard. She puts out a video every night. Window was entry, sliding door exit. I'm going to take up for her because I got me a 6-foot cardboard cutout too of her, you know. I mean, I got to. That thing wasn't cheap. So I have a tiny piece of information on the investigation. They repeatedly tell the public that. Under the 6th of December's daily discussion thread, no, he wouldn't. He's not involved. I don't know who he's referring to. And then Ellie has no suspect at this time. Yep, no suspect at this time. Any new thoughts on if we knew the killer or not is the question. And he put, we haven't heard of. If we know the killer or not. Well, if you know, if you knew who the killer was, wouldn't he be in jail? That's a dumb question. No suspects at this time for real. No connection. Cleared. Nope. No suspects at this time. There's your answer. And then he put, no, they're cleared. Check City of Moscow PD King Road homicide website for information. And that's no longer there. That sucks. But I loved when they did that. If you guys haven't been following this case since the beginning, Moscow PD put a website out, they hooked it onto their website, and it said King Road Killings, and you could go to the King Road Killings. It would give you a full description. It would tell you who was cleared, what they knew, like what they were telling the public, all of the different press conferences that they did. I mean, it was incredible. It really was. It was nice to see an agency do that. I've never seen like a police department do that before. So that was nice. I thought so anyway. Yeah, no one puts Nancy in the corner. Actually, I did. I put her in the closet. She's just chilling in the closet. That's all. We'll get her out later. And then a new update from local media reports X and E were likely at frat house the whole time. Been saying this from the start. And he did say that, I guess, a couple times. Number of evidence doesn't matter. It's quality of evidence. Okay. Comment on Ethan and Xana's whereabouts. Somewhere at Sigma Chi. Commented on some quick information regarding the phrase, person X has been cleared by LE. It's accurate. People on cleared list are not involved. Well, that's obviously, if they're on the cleared list, they're not involved. Inside looking grub truck video, he put he's not involved. At what point should we worry? The long haul has started. Nobody on that list is involved. And then they put, what did the guys take from the dad's comments about the steps? Isn't it obvious? No. News Nation Banfield Live now. Hoodie guy discussion. Did LE clear individuals too fast? JS is cleared. Cleared is cleared. They have nothing to do with it. Suspect's wounds, information sharing, no injuries. Kay's parents signed waivers for PD to investigate something male related. More here than you think. And then hoodie guy and then driver, they are not involved in the murders. And this was put on, I wish I knew the date for this one. I don't know the date for that one. And not connected. Thought that was obvious. Xana and Ethan's whereabouts, Sigma Chi. Cleared is cleared, he put again. Has nothing to do with it. One killer, one knife. And that was on 12/2. So, best publicly available timeline, he put, until there's evidence to say elsewhere, they were at Sigma Chi. I can only go off details provided by investigators. Well, some of them were not provided by investigators, my friend. So then he put, no point, it means nothing, it's speculation. No connection. It doesn't say they were anywhere else. Roommates cleared, not involved in homicides. No connection. And then he attaches this. Investigators have determined that Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle were seen at the Sigma Chi house on the University of Idaho campus at 735 Nez Perez Drive at approximately 1:45 a.m. Ethan and Xana are believed to have returned to the residence at 1122 King Road. It was previously reported that Ethan resided at the home. However, it has been determined that he was only visiting. LE's not lying to the public. Speculation, they were cleared today by LE. And then last sentence, please read. City of Moscow PD homicide website does not mention Ethan or Xana leaving Sigma Chi. It says they went there and returned home to the King Road at approximately 1:45 a.m. Latah County Prosecutor Kathy Mabbitt said the manner of death was stabbing for all four individuals. The cause of death was murder, according to Mabbitt. Mabbitt, who wrapped up the autopsies Wednesdays, previously said the killings were not a murder-suicide. The toxicology reports are still outstanding. She said the same knife was likely used to kill all four victims. And then someone put the clip of Xana's dad from the memorial. Did he reveal something about motive during his speech? And inside looking put, you're looking way too far into this. Best publicly available timeline, he put Sigma Chi. And then 3 a.m. 911 call November 13th, not related to homicide investigation. Pirelli, it's not related, end of story. Oh no. Or LOL, sorry, LOL no. And then he was cleared by LE, look no further. Talking about the boyfriend of the victims. The 4-chain thread, he put fake. No, thank you for your input. I'm being sarcastic. Yep. And then he added this. It's the Moscow website. King Homicides is one of their links. And it says they can take 4 to 6 weeks, Inside Looking said, for the toxicology. 12-2, daily discussion. Single blade killed all 4. Then I'm curious what everyone thinks the outcome of this case will be. No suspect at this time, he said. JD was cleared. He has no involvement. They are cleared. My view is that he's cleared. That's it. Yes, no suspect at this time. Jack Decor cleared. JD was cleared. No suspect at this time. A crime scene is a big message of its own. And then solid. And then more clips, added in. I don't know if we can we open these clips? Yeah, but the pages aren't there anymore. Because remember I told you they took them down? Darn them. They took it down. So then we've got no timeline is they went to Sigma Chi and came back. And then I'm just going to go to the ones that are relevant. General questions, cleared is not cleared is even more wacky to believe in. Okay. That is actually true. And then watch this case play out. The killer won't be anyone that was cleared by LE. Obviously, because they're cleared. And then he put in here who is not to believe involved. And they have a list and have said it during the press conferences. Cleared is cleared. Final answer. LE just clears people for no reason. No connection. And then they're pulled right up to the house. So they're saying that, but I don't know. 100% agreed. Thank you for sharing official information only. And then there is no indication or reason to believe they were elsewhere, according to the official story published on the City of Moscow PD website. I watched some of the video and OP asked what we thought of the time gap. I think OP is referring to the EX time gap. I'm saying they were at Sigma Chi the whole night and returned to King at 1:45 a.m. This was before the probable cause came out. So how did they know? I mean, they must have knew that. I'm assuming that was from a press conference. I'm assuming that they said it at one of the press conferences. I'm just not remembering it because that's very detailed. If not 1:45 a.m., that's very detailed. I'm confused on what we're even talking about. Yeah, the alcohol offense was on Taylor. And that was the 3 gentlemen, that were underage consumption. I'm saying EX were at Sigma Chi up the whole night and returned to the King Road approximately 1:45 a.m. No suspect identified at this time. There's still progress to be made. The people on the cleared list don't have anything to do with the murders. Just stop, he said. Redditors have been saying this from the start and nothing has changed. And he says people are accusing cleared people, saying police are playing mind games with the public, saying, oh, they have a suspect in custody already. I've heard plenty of crazy and reckless theories. I'm not even close to even off my rocker as them. Oh, thanks, Monchachi. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're so sweet. You're very, very sweet. Redditors have been saying this from the start and nothing has changed. People are accusing cleared people. Well, yeah, they were. Saying police are playing mind games with the public. Oh, they did do that too. Saying, oh, they have a suspect in custody already. I've heard plenty of crazy and reckless theories. I'm not even close to be even off my rocker as them. And then he put, yes, what more do they need? They took 4,000 photographs of the scene so they can return to it in an augmentative reality. I'm not just detracting from reality. Official sources only. I'm not lying to the public. They took over 4,000 photographs. I get downvoted for saying this, but they're not lying to the public and there's no word games going on. It's more odd the things people come up with here by denying what they're saying is distracting from reality. Well, that's true. Because they told the public it's multiple times no suspect. No, they do not have a person of interest suspect at this time. Ellie has repeatedly said they don't have a suspect. DNA has already came back. Crime scene processed and is being wrapped up now. Evidence has already been gone through. Interviews conducted. Why would anything change now? I get this emotional, but let's be realistic. Okay. And then he put, no, it's not illegal to be a weirdo. Well, yeah, that's true. It's not illegal. They're wrapping it up. Someone in the group has a podcast. They brought him on. He did an hour-long podcast too. People have cleared and ruled out. They're wrapping up the crime scene. DNA not showing a suspect at the moment. They will drag on for quite some time. Not a big leap. They had nothing to do with it. Cleared is cleared. The truth is nobody wants to swallow here. And just says, no, they're cleared and don't have anything to do with it. That's quite the fantasy. Sigma Chi, not connected. Yeah, that's a knife. What picture is strange? They don't have one at this time. And then under EMT/roommate/friends, why are you asking for this footage? No person of interest at this time. General discussion thread, November 30th, because they can estimate time of death. Nope, the killer was not caught on camera. They were at Sigma Chi. He keeps saying that. No person of interest at this time. They had nothing to do with it. Cleared. No, yes, 100% they were cleared. They had nothing to do with it. And then someone put speculation by users. You're looking too far into this. And then he put again, who was not involved. Like trying to, drive that home. Like, not involved. Crazy, huh? And then the assigned resources that they had on the case. They got an adequate amount of resources and expertise on this case. And that's true. I'm just reading through these. They're all the same. So then this one, individual charge in connection with the September 12th threat with a knife incident. Check the most recent Moscow PD update. No connection between King Road homicides and September 12th. They confirmed this for the second time now. They just confirmed it again in their most recent update. No connection. Hey, look at the most recent Moscow PD update. I was correct. No connection to September 12th. And then 11/30/22, so November 30th, no connection to September 12th. Chief said this very early in the investigation, so it's no surprise. And then it says Moscow Police Department Chief Fry said there was no known link between the incident referring to September 12th knife incident and Sunday's brutal murders. This was on November 17th, 2022. Pay attention to Ellie and what they say. Don't fill it in. Don't assume hidden messages. And don't say it's a word game. Stay away from non-official sources. That's pretty smart. No connection. Chief said this very early in the investigation, so it's no surprise. Pay attention to what Ellie says and don't try to fill it in with hidden messages or word game nonsense. Okay. This is part of the affidavit, it looks like almost. But it's not. It's from the Moscow PD site. So I don't know. I was talking to a former EMT. Pardon me, sir, ma'am. I'll leave you alone. Okay, I'm sorry. That person said. And then let's see if we can find a date on some of these, but I don't think we can. People can't handle the truth here. Ellie has no suspect at this time. Accept that already. No connection between the two incidents. The November 17th incident. And general discussion thread on November 28th. He put merely a suggestion on why the roommate survived. Same pictures, but just a different thread. And then do you think law enforcement is being honest in their answers or playing word games to protect the investigation? And they put, of course, they're going to know more than the public. They're investigating it. This is from Moscow PD. Why do we not trust them as a source of information? That was a question I had too. Yeah, he took a nice long hot shower in the residence he murdered 4 people in and even brought his own soap. I'm assuming he's being sarcastic. But he did take a shower, it looked like, at his home when he got back. The public is misleading themselves. You're looking too far into this. They're not using word games here. It's official sources. It's from the Moscow police, website. Are you out of your mind? Okay. And then he's just given same thing. So a Facebook group is a better source than law enforcement. Maybe. No, probably not. It just says, if he uses official sources, use official source only. Roommates have been cleared. And then it says, comment on saw on YouTube. Ellie said the call was made inside the home on November 13th, 11:58 a.m. Oh, and he just quotes it. But it says, a 911 call was requested, aid for an unconscious person. The call originated from inside the residence on one of the surviving roommates' cell phones. Moscow Police Department responded to the residence and found the 4 victims on the second floor, the second and third floors. It says done by someone they know. That's not true. Maybe, allegedly. Then they currently had no suspect here. Ellie said no suspect at this time. In that same picture, he drove right up to the house. Wants everyone to know that. It was never verified by official sources that the doors were locked. That's hearsay. Yeah, that's hearsay, I guess. No suspect. X who came made phone calls to have been cleared. No suspect at this time. Don't know what they're all pointing at. If you watch the video, it looks like he's looking at the window, not at the lock. It's like the last 10 seconds. Okay. And then that's a picture of Maddie's room. It says exactly, got to be able to convince a jury that this is the perpetrator without doubt. A lot of autistic people can and do drive. Well, that's weird. I wonder what this was about. I wonder what the rest of this, conversation was about. It says the killer is out there right now. Anyone making statements is going to want to remain anonymous. And that's the end of them. That was a lot. That was a lot of them, wasn't it? Let me actually go over here. Let me see the chat or the poll. So I'm going to end the poll. It says, do you think Bryan was Pappa Rodgers? 59% yes, 12% no. Oh, okay, 28% I don't know. So thank you for voting. I appreciate that. I'm going to put up another one. See if you guys think Bryan was inside looking. I'm going to put it as 2 words because I've been doing it this whole time. I think it's 1 word though, because it's like a name. Okay. I wonder if I could edit this right over here. Look at that. It let me do it. Okay, awesome. Look at that. It's like that screen's weird behind me. Okay. So, so did you guys put a 1 in the chat and be real? It's okay if you didn't. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys got a chance to watch the video that I put out this morning. Put a 2 in the chat if you didn't watch the video that I put out this morning. Because if you guys didn't watch it, I'll play it for you. If not, I'll play a different video. It was blank. It was blank. I was at the end of it. Yeah. Okay, so we got like even Stevens. Okay. We could play it. It's only an 8-minute video, not very long. It's so basically Megyn Kelly came out with a video, and it says 2 men committed Idaho college murders. Bryan Kohberger's new argument. She basically just talks to these 2 guys. I believe they're both lawyers, and she gets their advice on, if there's more than one person that committed this crime or not. And so I thought, yeah, we'll play it real quick while we're all here. And then I have another video that's short too that we'll watch real quick before we get off here. It's about just a recap, just to give you guys a recap of all the proceedings, like all the motions and everything that happened last week with the court proceedings. And it'll get us kind of caught up with, since it's Sunday, we'll be all caught up with everything. So let me pull this one up. Okay. Oh, and thank you guys again for being here tonight. I appreciate it. If you guys don't mind, just take a second, hit the like button. It does help the channel grow. If you're not subscribed to the channel, we do talk true crime daily on this channel. And then you can always follow me on my life vlogging channel, Unfiltered with Tanya, as well. So, and it's all in the Nightbot. It'll come through if you want to follow me in any of those places, or Twitter or TikTok or anything like that. I have a Facebook too, and an Instagram. I'm all over the place.
For real.
Add this to stage.
And
that might help.
You've got Judge Hipler, hip, with a P, double P,
that made me laugh. When she said that, I didn't know where she was getting with that, but then she got with it, and I was like, oh.
It's so close. Who is the new judge, and the defense attorney, Ann Taylor, yes, that's her name, is now maneuvering to suggest at trial that there were 2 assailants who killed these 4 Idaho college students within the course of what we believe is 12 to 17 minutes, 22 at the outside, but more like 12 minutes. That 2 men went into that Idaho house that night and killed Kaylee Gonsalves and Maddie Mogan and Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle. Not Bryan Kohberger, who was a student at University of Washington and a TA getting his PhD in criminology. Here's a little bit of Ann Taylor talking about the expert witness she's going to put on to that effect, or wants to put on.
Didn't you produce an expert who said that that it would have required 2 people to commit the crime?
Your Honor, we have produced an expert that believes that it's likely that there were 2 people, 2 weapons.
And she goes on to say, we came across a tip that would appear to be an alternate suspect. We're trying to work through that as rapidly as we can. And Judge Hipler said he would set a May deadline for the defense to present evidence of an alternate suspect. So why are they doing that? Why is she showing them? I'm on a Michael Connelly tear right now, reading all of his legal thrillers. The defense, aren't they supposed to surprise the prosecution with something like this? You have to disclose every card you're going to play at trial?
Sometimes you do, Maggie. I mean, something like when it comes to experts, especially when it comes to experts, you have to, in New York, there's a very strict requirement, because you play the game of the experts. You got to let them know who your expert is and give them an offer of proof, basically, about what they're going to testify. And then they get to go get their own expert to contradict what your expert is saying. I mean, it usually doesn't hold true for private investigators, but if you're introducing a whole new theory to the case, you may not be obligated under the law to do that, but a judge usually doesn't like to get caught, by surprise. So I don't know if that particular jurisdiction. I can tell you, for an alibi witness, if you're in New York, if you're saying my guy wasn't at the scene, he was in Rhode Island at the time that it took place,
which she is.
There's a certain amount of time where you have to say my client was not there and they were elsewhere because
she alleged he was out stargazing that night. It was just a lovely night for stargazing, and that was their quote alibi. Here's the other point on this case, Mark. The defense moved to bar the prosecution from using the terms psychopath and sociopath before the jurors. They actually also didn't want the prosecution to use the term murderer. The judge left open the possibility that the prosecution could use the word murderer during closing arguments, but I think is still considering on psychopath or sociopath. But what kind of motion is this? Since when can the prosecution not say, he's a murderer? That's what we're all doing here.
Okay, so this is, you have to imagine he's going to be convicted, and then there's going to be always an attack on what the lawyers could have or should have done, and also the lawyers want to win. So there's no harm, and don't take offense with lawyers filing motions and for the judge to consider it. Calling him a murderer, I would argue, is unfair until and unless closing argument occurs, when they then have proven that he did commit murder. That's number one. The other thing, sociopath, psychopath, any words they want to come up with, if that's not proven, if that hasn't ever been proven as a fact, it would be unfair, one would argue. Jurors would think that if those terms apply to him, it's more likely that he is a murderer. So I know why the defense would not want those things heard. And if there's not evidence to support it, the judge shouldn't let it in.
It's just
I keep thinking, Arthur, of the movie Jagged Edge, right? It was one of the greatest legal thrillers ever. You guys remember that movie? So good. If the listening audience hasn't seen that. With Glenn Close, right, and Jeff Bridges, so good. And in the closing argument, and I won't get into exactly all of it, but in the closing argument, there's that great lawyer, and he said something to the effect of, he's a sociopath. He is an Iceman. And I was like, oh, right. So I think that's how it went down. I might have been saying it out of court. But my point is simply, prosecutors make these arguments. I would be happy and fine as a prosecutor, Arthur, saying he's a sociopath. He went into that house and took the lives of 4. Why couldn't you argue that?
Well, first of all, the judge has ruled in this case that it will give them leeway in their closing arguments, but that's prejudicial and conclusory statements by the prosecutor. It's the jury's job to determine whether he's a murderer. Like in the Harvey Weinstein case, I'm objecting to them calling these women victims.
You lost touch with your prosecutor roots, both of you people.
Say it again, I didn't hear you, Megan.
You got to be able to, I totally disagree. You can argue the same. You can say he is a sociopath. He has no feelings about taking the lives of others.
Megan, you can't. Hold on. I'll back me up. The judge ruled properly here. A prosecutor cannot call a defendant a sociopath. That's almost reversible error. In
a closing argument?
You're testifying.
Megan, because it's not an opinion. To be a sociopath or a psychopath, there has to be proof, meaning someone analyzed him. That wasn't done.
What do you
so
mean?
That's such a prejudicial term.
I really disagree. I think if you can prove that this guy took the lives of 4 college students in 12 minutes single-handedly with a serrated edge knife, and then walked out and went home and took a selfie of himself with his little white shirt on and a thumbs up, it's fair to say he's a murderer.
That looks to me like a mint green. It looks like the same shirt he was wearing in one of the other pictures he has. Sorry. And he's playing music in his ears. I wonder what he's listening to. Do you think he's listening to his own rap? Or do you think he made up a rap just for this? I wonder.
He's a sociopath. Don't let him walk.
But there isn't really, I don't see anything really wrong with his hand. That would be his left hand.
The streets.
Murderer, yes, in closing, once it's been proven that he has no feelings, all the things that you said, except for that term, which there's been no evidence. It's conclusory. There's no expert testimony of that.
Got a couple bleeding
hearts. No, it's the law, Megan. It's the law. I forget if Mark. I was a prosecutor for 5 years.
I know it's been too long.
As a prosecutor,
you went too native on the defense attorney years. Okay, let's move on. I actually don't know. You're probably right, but I think it's stupid.
We'll try it twice. We'll do it your way, and then the next time when they reverse it, we'll come back and do it our way.
We definitely don't want that. Tariff wars, stubborn inflation. No.
We don't want that. We don't want your commercial afterwards. She's 55. Ashley, dang, she's hot. Maybe it's the hair color. They say lightening your hair. I've been learning things. They said that as you get older, if you lighten your hair a little bit, it makes you look not as old, but not highlights, not like big chunky highlights anyway, like soft, subtle ones. I don't know. But she's a good looking woman. I mean, no matter the age. She's probably had a lot of work done. Yeah, I'm assuming she has, but shit. Can I get some of that work? Just a little bit? She looks good. I mean, she looks good. She really does. I mean, can't say that. Can't say she don't look good, but she actually kind of looks like my best friend's friend. In a way. She does look like her, actually. She's a beautiful girl. What are you doing with them ears tonight, huh? Hello. You were so naked without your collar on. My dogs got baths today, so I took their collars off to wash them, and they're like, don't have them on, so I say they're naked when they don't have them on. They like to put them back on. They do. They're weird dogs. Like, you would think they wouldn't want them on, but, you know, they do. Yeah, K-Bar wasn't serrated. That's true, Harlow. She did say serrated, didn't she? Oh, thanks, Aries. A lot of copying. Yeah, him, American Psycho. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, if it was from the film, I wonder if they can do that. Like, wouldn't that be something if they could like go into your Pandora and be like, you know, you were listening to this song at this time. I mean, oh, I hope they don't know how to do that. I mean, if they listen to my playlist, they would be like, what is wrong with this girl? I mean, it's a lot of different, it's just different music. It's a lot of 70s rock, rap, hip hop, everything but country. I can't do country. I'll be crying. It makes me sad. It makes me so sad. So I wanted to recap just, I saw this video and it's a recapping of the evidentiary hearing that they had with Bryan Kohberger. He was in there for 8 hours almost the other day. So this is just going to recap that for us. And then we'll talk about it. And then that'll be what I have for you for tonight. But I do have a new video that came out about Bryan Kohberger. I'm going to go over it tomorrow with you guys. And a couple other little things. So yeah. That was Mia. Yep, Ladybug. That sure was. She's back here laying down like a good girl now. They've been doing so good, like in here. Like the other dog's sleeping like a little angel. Oh, I'll tell you something after this video. About my little angel. But she's still an angel. Nothing happened. I don't want anyone to think anything happened to her. But yeah, I'm gonna play this. Thanks again for being here tonight, guys. I'm gonna pause it as we need to for commentary. But if you guys haven't hit the like and hit the subscribe, what you doing with your life? You know, what are you doing? What are you doing out there in YouTube land? Make sure you do. And if you are new to the channel and you haven't told us already, like where you're from, I love knowing where people are from. I don't know. It gets me excited. Also, I might have new birds that are trying to make that nest their home. 2 little birds. I guess I'm a bird lady now. I meant to tell you that in the beginning of the live.
Detectives arrested 28-year-old Bryan Christopher Kohberger on a warrant for murders of Ethan, Zena, Madison, and Kaylee.
He was stalking them. He was hunting them.
You could tell there was something off about him.
A quadruple homicide in Moscow, Idaho. It's just unheard of.
This is our home. This is our university. This is our community.
These murders have shaken our community, and no arrest will ever bring back these young students.
This was a violation of everything.
Let's talk about the Idaho student murders case now. It's what's trending in true crime. Bryan Kohberger is the man charged with those fatal stabbings, and he was back in court on Wednesday. Both sides arguing what's called those motions in limine, the motions ahead of the trial. They really set the stage for everything, and that trial marker calendar is set to begin on August 11th. There were over 20 different motions taken up by the court. We want to talk about some of the key motions, so we've pulled them out here. One of them coming up has to do with Bryan Kohberger's autism diagnosis, and if he is convicted, whether or not it can be used as a mitigating factor as to whether he should receive capital punishment. Let's talk about the killer's bushy eyebrows. We know that one of the surviving housemates said she saw the man wearing dark clothing, athletic build, wearing that dark mask, but saw the bushy eyebrows. Well, the defense doesn't want that coming in. The judge took the arguments under advisement. We'll see what he rules later. But we want to talk about that because we know that's really key in this description, right? We know that this surviving housemate didn't make a direct identification of Bryan Kohberger. He's just the accused. So is it likely the judge is going to exclude her descriptor of the bushy eyebrows? Let's bring in attorney Dave Ehrenberg now. Dave, you're the perfect person to help me unpack all these things. So starting with that, the bushy eyebrows issue. Do you see this getting excluded?
It shouldn't, Julie, because it's relevant evidence. You have an eyewitness there, a surviving roommate, who said, I saw this individual wearing a mask, but these noticeably bushy eyebrows. And you could see in pictures taken of Kohberger right after, a selfie he took right after the murder, a really creepy one, that he has bushy eyebrows. And it is noticeable that when he sits at the defendant's stand all made up, that those eyebrows have been trimmed. Let the jury decide whether that is evidence of his guilt. But to exclude it altogether, I think would be...
I'm sorry, but them eyebrows are different. They're just different. Then that selfie picture that he took, that's his own picture. He took that himself. He's doing something to his eyebrows. Now, I don't know if somehow when he's getting his hair cut, if they're like, just cutting them down a little bit, like just cutting them with scissors. Cause I have one of my eyebrows used to get cut down with scissors. I think it's this one. I don't know, but one of them used to. Maybe that's what he's doing, because I know in Ada County anyway, inmates give the other inmates haircuts, but I don't know about in Kohberger's situation because he's segregated from everybody else. Do you know what I mean? So maybe there is someone there that they would trust to give him a haircut, and maybe Kohberger's like, hey, trim down my eyebrows. I don't know, but they do look different.
Be a mistake.
Excellent analysis, Dave. Thank you for that. I want to turn to something else here, and
look at them.
You know well,
like two little caterpillars sitting there perched on his little eyebrows or face for eyebrows. His eyes look red. Do they look red to y'all? His eyes look red to me. Like they look tired. Like he's been up all night. I didn't notice it before. Wonder if I can use if you have like a iPad or something, zoom in a little bit. But I think they look like they're a little red. Wish I could zoom in on StreamYard, but I can't.
The law on capital punishment, what it involves, having to make the weighty decision to seek such a punishment on a homicide case, having served as the state attorney in Palm Beach County, Florida. In this case, we know the state of Idaho is seeking the death penalty against him, and his defense team wants to use his autism as a mitigating factor. Do you see that being permissible?
One of the advantages, Julie, that defendants have is that you can list any mitigating factors. See, prosecutors have a list on the statute that says, here are the aggravators, and they have to prove at least one aggravator beyond a reasonable doubt. But when it comes to mitigators, the defense can choose anything. You remember that horrific murder at Parkland, not far from here, this Marjorie Stoneman Douglas massacre. The reason why the young man there escaped the death penalty was because they said, well, his mother smoked while he was in the womb. So you can come up with any crazy reason to try.
So did my mama. I mean, it was they told you not to quit back then. It was a long time ago.
Tried to get one or more jurors to say, yeah, let's not give him the death penalty. So they can try the autism, but the defense is saying it should be taken off the table. The autism should take the death penalty off the table entirely. It shouldn't even go to a jury. And of course, I strongly disagree with that. Having autism or even a slight autism, it's questionable whether he has autism at all, quite frankly. I mean, he's a doctoral student who acted pretty normally when the cop pulled him and his father over on that long drive back to Pennsylvania. But even if he does have some level of autism, that alone is not enough to take the death penalty off the jury, away from off the table and away from the jury. They should be able to decide.
Yes, Dave, I love it. Preach. I've got another issue I want to pick your brain on. That has to do with the 911 call placed by those housemates. We know this was made hours after the homicides were committed. Let's take a listen to some of it now.
911 location of your emergency. Something is happening. Something happened in our house. We don't know what. And tell me exactly what's going on.
One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night, and she's not waking up.
Okay.
Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night.
Okay, I need someone to stop passing the phone around because I've talked to 4 different people.
Okay, sorry, they just gave me the phone.
Is she breathing?
Hello?
Is she breathing?
No.
Okay, so the defense team wants to keep the 911 call out. The judge is going to give some guidance at a later date on whether it will be admitted, and the judge hinted at some possible redactions with its admittance, so we'll wait for that. And then there's the other issue of the Amazon click history for Bryan Kohberger. The defense wants to have excluded some purchases that he made. The state is pointing to deliberate actions that indicate premeditation because he bought a K-bar knife and a sheath to go along with it months prior to the homicides. And the judge will allow that Amazon evidence to come into the trial potentially. I don't believe there's been a ruling on that. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think it's still up in the air. Okay, so Dave, let's take these one by one. The 911 call. The defense, I don't know what they want.
It's either like a bruise or a birthmark. But that's his lefty hand. Brian's a righty. Or wait, would that be your right? No, that'd be your left. I have to turn around. I'm like, getting too late. But if he was like in some sort of altercation, with like, especially one of the guys, or not one of the guys, especially Ethan, maybe even Xana, because we know she put up a big fight too. Maybe one of them like bit him or something there. I don't know. It does look bruised though. I saw that in the first picture. I thought I saw it, and I was like, I don't know if I saw that. So I was like second guessing myself.
I think they want a trial without any evidence at all because I mean, like they just don't want to know. No talk about bushy eyebrows. No 911 call. I mean, the call's pretty harmless if you ask me. They're not saying it was Kohberger in the house or anything like that. That's they're just there was a man in the house. We don't know that it's Kohberger. What do you think? Do you think that it should all come in? Do you think it should come in with redactions? Give us your take, please.
I guess the defense argument is, Your Honor, this evidence is too harmful to our client. Well, Too bad. Tough luck.
You should be a judge, Dave. Please be a judge next in your career.
I love to wear the black robe and have everyone stand up when I enter the room. It's a great gig to be a judge. Yes. I mean, right? Julie, you and I feel the same way about this. It's like, come on. I mean, this is real evidence. This is a present sense impression. This is what the individuals there saw and felt at that time. It really shows the chaos, and it's real life. And also it debunks the whole myth that somehow the roommates were in on it, that somehow they were the killers themselves, or that they somehow were complicit. No, these people were just discombobulated. They were hungover. They'd been drunk the night before. They were freaking out, passing the phone around, having a neighbor come and help them because they could barely speak. And yes, that fact that they said that the roommate was passed out, I think that's what a lot of people would do rather than to admit that our roommate is dead. I mean, who would ever want to say that? You say she's passed out. You don't want to ever believe that she was murdered. And so that's coming in. And then as far as the Amazon purchase, I mean, come on. You don't think it's relevant evidence that the defendant purchased the same type of knife and sheath that was used in the crime and then afterwards went back to try to buy another one? I think it's very damning evidence, and it will come in.
Yes. Ding, ding, ding. You were right, Dave. I just got confirmation from our control room. Katie, thank you for this. Yes, the judge did make a ruling on that. There were so many motions the other day. It was hard to keep track. But yes, the judge says it can come in. So to your point, Dave, you were right. How vital is it to the state's case? Dave, what do you think? The fact that he buys this K-bar knife, exact same knife used, buys the sheath left behind with his DNA on it. Yikes.
It's very powerful evidence, but they've got so much other powerful evidence that even if this didn't come in, I think he'd still be found guilty. The number one best evidence is his own DNA. He can't get around that. He's not going to be able to say that someone planted his DNA there. His goose is cooked.
Sure is. Dave Ehrenberg, you're the best. Thank you so much for taking time to come on the...
His goose is cooked, he said. Okay, well, I haven't heard that one yet. That's the first time I've heard that. But that's all I really have for you guys for tonight. Let me see. Is there anybody out there live on the interwebs? Everybody's like live over a couple people, looks like. Lori Vallow. Oh, I guess it's a couple. Wonder why. Oh, it's because it's Sunday and nothing's really come up, because it's not through the week where her case is going on. But I haven't really been following it. I haven't been following it at all, actually. I don't know why. I'm sure what that picture he took isn't reversed. Oh, it could have been. So when you walk into the bathroom, I'll show it on our next live. Remind me, and I'll show it on our next live because I've found that if you go to Steptoe Village Apartments, that's where I lived. They have a virtual walkthrough, and I'm trying to think. You walk in the bathroom. They don't really let you they don't show you the bathroom that much. Really, I think the shower heads would be if you're looking this way, it would be to the left. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to figure it out because his bathroom's almost set up like one of mine, I think. Oh, I mean, mine's a lot nicer, but I mean, because his is really outdated. But I think maybe I could do a little. I'm thinking in my ADHD brain is thinking. That's what I'm thinking out loud. I'm thinking I could do an experiment and see if my stuff is set up exactly like his, and then I could do a picture, whatever he was doing in his picture. Oh, this, not this, but who takes a selfie with their thumbs up like that? That's just I don't know. That's a weird move. Very awkward move, yes, I did it. I did it. I don't know, but his eyes do look red. I think he was back on the drugs too. I think he was back on something. Because if you look at him when he was arrested and then you look at him in some of these other GQ looking pictures, when he is in the suit, even when he was, you could tell when he was using compared to when he wasn't using, I can anyway. I feel like, yeah. I thought about there's actually, I think Nancy Grace might have did it on Fox Nation. There's a special that they compare Ted Bundy with Bryan Kohberger and the case and stuff. I actually have my Canva thing that I put the parallels that are the same and then what was different in each case. I did little charts for you guys way back when. So maybe we'll do that again because they were pretty much the same age when they committed their first crime. More than one person was in the house when they committed these crimes. They were both college sorority girls. There's a lot of similarities. There's a lot. Oh, did you ever girl? Yeah. I don't ever watch the interview room. I need to watch more channels. I've no Idaho 4 content on my For You page. I'm where's all the Idaho content? I need to go and look for some and just see what other people are talking about. Because I know other people are talking about the case. I don't have them in my algorithm right now. You know what I mean? So, I think it's because we covered so many cases. Fake courage, yeah. Oh yeah, if he did a couple lines with old Crystal, he would have been able to scoot around that house in no time. Yeah, I think he's on something too. I definitely do. Thank you, CJK. I appreciate that. Yeah. But I don't know if you can hear my dog, but she's back here snoring. Is it the brown one? It's the brown one tonight, so it's not as loud. Most people commit crimes around something. Yeah, I would say so. Classic one, especially something like, I mean, to go into someone's home with all those cars parked out front, right? And what we most of us think in here, most of us anyway, think that he was going after one person that night, and that, you know, one person maybe spiraled into four. But I mean, I would think that he would have to be on something to even do one murder, let alone four. But you can't be so messed up out of your mind where you don't know what you're doing, because, you know, like at the same time, because, you know, like he was pretty slick with what he did. I mean, you know, he wasn't caught for 6 weeks. He was out there for a little while. I mean, you know, like he didn't leave a whole lot of stuff, as we know, like behind. So, well, thank you, Petunia. I appreciate that. I love snoring dogs. They're cute. They're back here being my babies. It's really cute, because when we're done with the live, now I used to open the door and the cat would be there. He would want his treats at his midnight snack, let's say. And now he's not out there anymore. He's always in the bed with Vincent. Like Vincent will go lay down and he'll get in the bed with Vincent. And I think that's the cutest thing ever. That's what I was going to tell you. If you guys know about my dog and about her little incident she had, that girl, the mother, the daughter of the mother whose dog got in a fight with Araya, she asked me, she said, so are you going to pay any of this bill? She wrote me that the other day. Now it's any of it. And I'm like, you should have just kept with what the agreement was in the beginning, because you had it made. But then you went and tried to get me arrested, my dog killed, and all this and that. So I'm just like, I didn't even write her back. I wanted to. It's in my notes, actually, what I wanted to write. And then I wrote Vincent, and I said, she just wrote me. I said, what do I do? So her mom apparently got kicked out, because when the cops were called that day, we've never had the cops here ever in our apartment complex. I've never seen them here. And they got in a fight downstairs one morning, and everyone was leaving for work. It was kind of like wrong time to get in a fight. And then they ended up, I guess, kicking the mom out, because the mom hasn't been here, and neither has the pit bull that she has. But the little dog has been here. So I don't know. Then she had the nerve. Yeah. First I was going to pay, it was $1,600 for the bill. I was going to pay like $1,100. I was going to pay $1,000 of it. And then I gave her $300 already. So $1,300. And so she'd only have to pay $300. That was a good deal, I thought. But then she didn't like that. She didn't like that deal. She didn't tell me she didn't like it. She didn't tell me. She told me that was great. Instead, she kept saying, you know, if I call the Humane Society, that they'll take your dog and kill it, right? You know that, right? You know that, right? You know that. She said it like 5 times when I was there. And I said, you just need to stop it with that, because we're not going to go there, right? We're not going to go there. And so she went there. She went to the Humane. She took her dog in too, and it says no dogs. She took her dog into the Humane Society, and then tried to get them to do a civil suit on me, which they can't, because he's not a cop. He's like looking at her like, I can't do that. She ends up getting fined because she doesn't have tags for her dogs. I did. And then she got another fine for her dog getting or no leash. Her dog not. So she got 2 fines going down there trying to get me in trouble. And then she tried to get me arrested. And I'm like, are you crazy, lady? It was your fault. Your dog flew out the door after my dog. I can't help it if my dog just is a bigger dog and it defended herself. But I'm still dealing with that. It's actually been 1 month yesterday. 1 month. Yeah. They're very much trash. I don't know how they're even here. Like, because it's just, these people don't usually like show up here. You know what I mean? And where we live, like it's just these places are pretty expensive to live in, and they're just, you know what I mean? Like usually we get like military, it's a lot of military around here. Never like, I don't know. But her boyfriend, husband, I don't know what he is, but he's like a firefighter and stuff. And like he seems all right. But the mom, she was like living there, but she said she was visiting. Yeah. 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 That was the mom that lived there. Yeah. Visiting with the dog. Yeah. And then so then after I go to court and they find me not guilty. No, I'm not guilty. They found me not guilty. A judge found me not guilty. I have all the paperwork. Then, yeah. So the judge settled it. That was it. End of story. That's how I feel. It's settled. Thanks, Southernish. Yeah, I'm not going to reply to her. Like I feel so bad for that little dog. Like I do. I feel so bad for it. And I'm just got to be like, you know, I'm a pity mama. Like I'm a pity mom. I think it's like I didn't do everything fast enough maybe for her, but she never wrote me. She never texted me other than now. So now I'm just like, yeah, so I'm be doing the classic one. I'll be buffering out on her. But thanks for talking to me about it. I appreciate it. I like being able to vent to you guys because it's just like, it's a lot. I just thought of that. Like I don't have like a work crew. Do you know, like when you go to work, like that's who you kind of vent to, like, you know, like that. I don't have that. Like I don't have you guys are my work crew. You're my work crew. You're who I vent to. Thanks for letting me vent to you. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm just going to ignore her. I'll keep you guys updated though with whatever she says. Yeah. They just want to throw me up. They throw me in litigation. And that's all I was. I was like, I'm going to protect her because she's my girl and I love them and I love both of them. And if anything were to ever happen to one of these dogs, I don't know what I would do. Oh, was I frozen? Oh, sorry about that. I don't know how that happened. I thought I was just, she's looking to get a bag. Yeah. I was frozen. I didn't know that, man. This internet, we got that fiber or whatever it is now. I hate this internet. Well, I appreciate you guys. I do. Vincent was asking me the other day. He's like, "Did you talk to Southernish?" He said, "I saw her in the chat." I said, "Well, yeah." Because I was telling him about how we talked. I think he likes it that I talked like that. I had someone to talk to because I never reach out to like anybody that I really know. Like I haven't for years, and I don't know why. But I reached out to my best friend and to tell her that I was crying in the card aisle, trying to get her 40th birthday card, and we told each other that we love each other, and you know we need to have lunch. And so I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna try to have lunch with her because it's been too long. But I'm always here. So I live like an hour and a half from anybody that I know. So that's another thing too. Like, you know, I don't know a whole lot of, I knew people around here, but I never really met a whole lot of people around here at the same time. Because I just like go to Target and home. No one talks to me at Target. Oh, and if Nash Native hears this, Target has at my Target, we have the whole Kate Spade collection. So if there was a certain dress or something that you liked and you wanted it, let me know, email me, and I'll buy it for you. I'll send it or something. And then you can pay me back or whatever you want to do. But she was sad because all the Kate Spade stuff was sold out of her Target. And when I went into mine today, it was completely full and it was beautiful stuff. And it was really cute. It was really cute stuff. So if she hears this, hopefully. Oh my gosh. Yes, Petunia. Email me anytime if you want. My email's titaniumbuiltboo@gmail.com. I'm going to check my emails tomorrow morning. I was checked a couple of them tonight, and then I need to check them all tomorrow. Because Mary Beth wrote me, and Mary Beth, I'm gonna write you back because I saw half of it, and then I meant to write you back. I don't have it on my computer yet. People are so unfriendly. They are. People do act weird. It's ever since 2020, really. I think, you know. I mean, we were in the grocery store after when the toilet paper was stocked back up for like the first time in like months. And this guy made a joke about the toilet paper. He's like, haven't seen that in a while. Like I laughed so hard. I thought it was the funniest joke I ever heard in my life. Like it was a dad joke. It was definitely a dad joke. The guy thought it was so funny that I thought it was so funny. And it was like warm in my heart because I was like, it was literally, we were still wearing the mask and everything. Like, and it was just like, oh my gosh, someone made a joke. It was so fun. People were just, people are not funny anymore. They're not like they used to be anyway, you know, like a lot of times, people just stick to themselves. But I thought about doing, before I jump off here, I thought about doing some sort of like thing where I could get girls in the area together, you know, because like a lot of girls that are like in their 30s or like, especially their, you know, like higher 30s, 40s, we are either married and we just hang out with our husbands, or we are single and we just don't have a whole lot of friends, you know, around. So I thought about doing like a meetup, like a girls meetup or some sort, because I have like a huge area I can do it in, but I don't know. I'll have to think about that. That'd be a big hosting responsibility, but I think it'd be fun. But thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate it. I will see you guys all tomorrow evening at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I do a live tomorrow, I'll post it on the community tab. Like if I do one tomorrow during the day, like on the other channel, I'll post it. So I want to start doing some lives over there and doing some open panels and stuff. So that way we can just chit chat during the day for an hour or two. So I'll see you guys all later. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye, guys.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it out. Tonight, we gonna let it out. Tonight, we gonna let it out. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it out. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now.